I'm gonna press live. I'm not gonna press live. I'm gonna press open the TikTok live streaming app, and we're gonna try to figure that one out too. Sophania, thank you for the drink water redeem. I appreciate you looking out for my health. And then YouTube is live. Hell yeah. Hello, Dale. This camera unplugged and plugged back. And now I have to do the ceremonial deleting and re-adding of the camera source before I am allowed to fucking do anything with it. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. No, TikTok bad. That's a bad TikTok. You had my camera above the content rather than below the content. Hello, Aaron. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Okay. I think TikTok's going live as well. I'm going to pop that chat out so I don't forget about them like the less loved children they are. What's happening, TikTok? Why are you re-maximizing? There we go. Hello, Re-Ink. Mauled, have you ever thought about doing a set review of all the arena-only cards? No. I've thought about doing content about the arena-only cards. It's probably not going to take the form of a set review for a couple reasons. First and foremost, if I was going to talk about arena cards, I should probably do like roasting arena commanders, or I should do like the 5 worst. If we're talking about like what is clickable, because the important thing to remember, most of Alchemy is fucking fine. There are a couple cards from Alchemy that are the worst design mistakes this side of the Oppenheimer, the Manhattan Project, whatever. But most of them are just like very extremely super duper whatever. And so a big long video of me talking about the ones that are extremely super duper whatever, nobody's going to want to watch that. I can try to make butt jokes about them, but at the end of the day, they're just like pretty normal cards. I could talk about like Oracle of the Alpha, which they did print, which I hate. I could talk about like, I could do a video being like ranking Alchemy mechanics in terms of either a tier list, or I could do what I did for the Planeswalkers, which was like, would they let you borrow your car? So like ranking Alchemy mechanics by God, I hate them. Something Family Feud. So I could figure out something like that for them, but it just wouldn't take the traditional path of like, oh yeah, hear me, I say a sentence about every single Alchemy card there is. Hydrogen 17, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the Doghouse, my friend. And Nightsy, thank you for the 21 months in a row at tier 1, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home. Comrade Gorbash, thank you for the 5 months in getting us to a hype train, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. Howdy, Forsaken. A couple arena cards are cool, although hard to keep track of, like Lamb, Stormcrane, Elder. Oh yeah, Monastery and Mentor. I hate that guy. I mean, I don't hate him from a power level standpoint, but it just feels like, hey, did you not kill me in 5 turns? I am now legally allowed to annoy you to death. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he's Brawl, so he's not meant to be fun. So for people that don't know who we're currently talking about, oh my god. Let me look up his full name. Stormcrane Elder. Elikman, thank you for the 5 months, my friend. I appreciate those Bezos bucks. The next one's gonna be Thursday. And I would urge you to not use language like heinous dog shit when you're talking about your own artistic creations, because a really important thing that I think it would be helpful for you to internalize is they're not bad. They are overcomplicated. That is distinctly different from being just broadly bad, or from being I am trying to put bad effects onto the cards. It is good and it is too much. And so if you go into complete overhaul mode thinking, oh, these are dog shit, I need to fix them, like you're probably going to end up with overcomplicated cards that are just complicated in a different way. And I think the thing that is going to be most painful for you is you need to make more cards that are Flowstone Salamander. We need a mana cost, a stat line, and one fucking line of text. Or one sentence, right? This goes technically over a line of text. But like, this is the thing. It is not that they are bad cards that need to be torn up from the foundation. It's that you have a ton of cool ideas and you're trying to let all of them breathe and they're choking each other. But anyway, so for Stormcrane Elder, in the context of Brawl, this guy basically says, like, if turn 5, if you don't remove him, I make lethal. If I can't make lethal turn 5, I have gotten heinously unlucky, or I am, like, just awful at the game. So then turn 6, because I don't make lethal with haste in mono white, if you don't board wipe me by turn 6, I win now. And that is a, like, very reasonable power of play for 1v1 Magic. Like, 6 turns, you did not put this person under enough pressure that they had to block with their commander. You did not have removal to get rid of their commander. That's fine. But it is like, I do nothing, and then I resolve my commander, I take God's longest turn, and then see if you have a board wipe. Glass Geo, thank you for the tier 1 for the 3rd month in a row. Welcome to the dog home. Alec, depending on the advice you want to get, so a thing I would say, if you want more of your cards to get a thumbs up, good job, overhaul them. If you are down with us, with most of the critiques being, these are the lines you can keep, or you can keep this percentage of the words on this card, don't overhaul them. Because that's just what most of the critique is going to be realistically, is like, okay, there's a good idea here, and you can keep 1/3 of it. You can keep 1/2 of it. Because that's kind of what happened with that cycle of Bone Mages that you sent in, was we said, oh, okay, we see what's going on here. We like Battle Mages. That is achieved entirely by the Magecraft ability. Why do we have everything else here? If you are down with that feedback, leave them as they are. If you are hoping that, or if you have coherent ideas of how you would like to change them, and you are hoping for the feedback to be like, yes, these are great, then yeah, change them. Bones, you say? What's up, Bone Lord? And Alec, I am very sympathetic to making fun of yourself, and as somebody who often makes fun of yourself, language shapes your reality. Even when you think you're being sarcastic. This is evidenced by all the people who use the term swag ironically up until they weren't, or who use the term hella fire ironically up until they weren't. We have to be careful with how we talk. We have to be very careful about how we talk, specifically with how we talk to ourselves. Of course, Helios, always. Is it a mistake to run cards like this or the Power 9 Bird in Paper Magic? I mean, I may personally dislike their play patterns. When it comes to mistake, I think that's more on, as people, we should understand and accept when we play decks that require us to practice playing our own deck. Some cards are like that. I think this card is like that. If you cannot concisely get through a turn of casting a bunch of like low mana, mono white, or like artifact cantripping spells while keeping track of how many total monastery mentors you're going to have. Like, this is also, you can just write a mathematical equation for this. And so if you just keep that shorthand and plug it into a calculator at the end of the turn, I'm down with that too. You don't have to show your work. I'm not your math teacher. But if you're like, I'm going to count this by hand, I'm not going to write an equation for it, I'm going to count it by hand, and I've never done it before, and now I'm going to cast 20 spells, I'm not going to say mad. I try to reserve mad for like things that really get me upset, but you've probably moved down in my internal priority list of who I want to play more Magic with. Right, time, but every single token having prowess both is a different equation you can make and doesn't matter unless you're swinging. Like, I think more people, like, there's so few, the turn you're making the lamb tokens, the prowess triggers are probably not relevant. They might be relevant for lamb, but if you know, like, oh, I don't have a haste enabler on board, I'm not doing anything with power toughness this turn, who cares about the prowess? DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. I've found that instead of making fun of myself under my breath when something bad happens, darkly muttering, I'm going to put on the best talent show this town has ever seen, is better for my mental health and funnier. Yes, we need more things like that. Like, do you know, I had so many bad athletic motivational quotes in my head for so long from rowing. And do you know what did like the most for maintaining my mental health while still pushing me whenever I was like, oh, I was hurting a lot, I was tired, I didn't want to get out of bed, was the phrase, that's not very Mamba of you. But I had to say it cunty to myself, which is from Kobe Bryant's thing, Mamba mentality. And like, he was super hardcore, but it always like, it made me giggle a little bit to imagine a version of myself that was serving a little bit in the corner being like, you are not giving Mamba right now, dude. Because it made me laugh a little bit. And it reminded me of what I wanted my end goal to be. So anyway, Iceblader, that is the incredibly circuitous way to say it's not a mistake to play this in paper if your friends will let you. They're not technically legal in paper, I don't think, but it's not really a mistake to play it, but it is a mistake to not practice resolving the complicated turns with it. I've moved to a klutz move being greeted with, behold, I am the pinnacle of grace and dexterity. Treat yourself like Caesar mauled initially and it'll work. Yeah, we can gaslight ourselves into being better, into being happier. AB on TikTok, I'm also with you. I generally despise every alchemy card. One time I tripped down the stairs and immediately followed it up with, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and it was so good. There are some cool alchemy cards. You've said a lie. Other than I like Heist because I'm a bitch. Heist is the only alchemy mechanic I enjoy because I'm a complete fucking asshole. Sagan? Yeah, what in God's name? A double strike 1/4, and on attack, oh, you get a banner for first strike and double. Oh, this is terrible. Suck on these nuts. Oh my god. I can't even be mad. I was so distracted by how terrible the card was. Oh. Ugh. Oh, anyway, every alchemy card confirmed terrible. Everyone hit the showers. Oxymoron. So I do see all live chats, but as Dale so helpfully explained, due to Twitch TOS, I must make sure that Twitch chat is who I am replying to the most consistently, and I can only show Twitch chat on screen. So I can see everybody's chat, but to multi-stream, I am only supposed to show Twitch chat on screen. If you are a big and famous Twitch streamer, you are allowed to ignore that, but that is not me. Okay. And then did I miss any random smasher passes? Oh, personal question from Terrence. Maul, do you think you're doing yourself a disservice if you try to gain muscle mass without a gym membership, using free weights and a pull-up bar instead, or etc.? Let me be extremely specific with my words. There's a lot of nuance here. Yes, calisthenics athletes are bitches. The actual answer is, I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you try to gain muscle mass without a gym membership, simply because you are limiting your options, and the true disservice is to not experiment with whatever modality of working out you find the most enjoyable. That's going to be the best one every time. You know, people can fucking Jeff Nippard, some like 5'6" mound of muscle, can share studies all day. The thing that is going to make you the most muscular, the most healthy, and the most happy is whatever type of working out you like the most. If that's ultimate frisbee, do that. If that's rock climbing, do that. If that's lifting weights, do that. If that's push-ups, do that. And so if you want to get in shape, I think it is a disservice to not experiment with different forms of exercise. That doesn't mean you have to get yourself a 1-year gym membership and enter a bodybuilding competition to thoroughly investigate it, but I would try some stuff. If you're short on cash, and then yeah, do calisthenics instead of spending money on a gym membership. As Gorbash is saying, the exercise you will want to do again in 2 days clears everything. Clears everything. Fuck every other metric about working out. Then we have a random smasher pass from Gecko Gamer. And then I think we'll get into the roasting for today. It's not Baja Blast. This is just sand. Do I want a worried ugly man or a bunch of birds? I think I'm going to have to pass here. I'm going to have to pass. Tift, don't be contrarian. We know you wouldn't. We know you're just saying things. When are the scheduling emails for this month's roast going out? Well, they should have all gone out yesterday. So let me see. Oh, yeah, you're marked green on my fucking sheet, Brother Bear. That means you're in trouble, Laz. Firm. 3. I will have to recheck the scheduling. You definitely have not gotten your email yet. I think there is a tab. I think there are 2 tabs on this Google sheet that got lost to time. And so I will have to follow that up with you and like 12 other people after this stream. I haven't gotten one either unless I goof something. Yeah, I will have to... What the fuck happened here, man? I'll just have to run a comparison after after I finish stream, because it is definitely more than just you two. It is enough people that I have to do weird and annoying counting. I know that more than half of them have gone out based on what I can see here. Yeah, and then I'm just missing more. Yes, Aegis, there are emails about it. Aegis, you were emailed about it. Hold on. Wait a goddamn minute. Yeah, Aegis, you were emailed about it yesterday at 2:11 p.m. I don't be checking that thing. Gorbash, you didn't get nobody who's going today got an email because I just tagged you all in Discord because it was so or except for Sudsy Boy. But everybody else I just tagged in Discord to try to get to them sooner. Yes, Johannes, we're about to get into deck roasting for the day. Oh, okay. Soy Mage, thank you for the Twitch follow. Rant Redeem. Yu-Gi-Oh! Approaches you to fix their game. Give your pitch for how you fix a game you admittedly don't play. This game sucks. This is an impossible fucking challenge. This game is awful. Hold on. Mind Palace. Okay, here's how we fix it. The only way to fix Yu-Gi-Oh! Is 1, holograms. They're bitching. 2, we need the monsters to be sentient and to be incredible sticklers about grammar. And the way the game functions from now on is there are no more turns. Everything is happening real time. You can cast spells and attack just in real time at the same time your opponent is. And the way you summon spells is you have to say their entire rules text out loud. If you get a syllable wrong, there's a big buzzer and you have to start all over. This way, anybody who wants to play combo in Yu-Gi-Oh! Has to become a master of articulation. They have to be on just complete Busta Rhyme shit. And then the Silver Wolf players have a goddamn chance because they can just yell its name, go "Aou," and then rip your throat out while you're trying to summon dipshit Exodia or whatever is relevant in the meta. That's how we do it. Yeah, rappers would just fucking take over the world championships. Step 1, ban all cards with more than 3 lines of text. Step 2, ban all cards with only 1 line of text. Step 3, introduce phases. Real as hell. Would they have to read the level of the monster? Yes. I think, like, the reading of a card would be... This one's actually... Dark Magician doesn't work because he has no fucking... He has no fucking rules text. What's a Yu-Gi-Oh card that's good now? This was my guy, but what's a Yu-Gi-Oh card that's playable today? Read Broken Bamboo Sword. So yeah, if you wanted to play Pot of Greed. Yeah. The fabled one. Holy shit, Konami's website is dog shit. Okay. No, we'll do Spirit of the Pot of Greed because this is an actual creature. So if you wanted to, in fixed Yu-Gi-Oh, if you wanted to play this card, you would say, I summon Spirit of the Pot of Greed, a level 1 light type monster with 100 attack and 100 defense. If a player activates Pot of Greed, I may activate this effect and they can draw one card. This card must be in face-up attack position to activate and to resolve this effect. And then it would be played. And then it would be played. So the motherfucker who just wants to play, you don't have to do creature type, we're not racist. If the person who just wants to play Dark Magician just has to yell Dark Magician as fast as they can, and then Dark Magician can just beat the fuck out of you. Dark Magician can just fucking wail on you. And then we got a good game on our hands. Alexander, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the doghouse, my friend. This is the thing you read. No reading flavor text? No. And you also don't read this, because this sucks. Listen, I don't have an announcer voice, but if somebody who did have an announcer voice read it, I need us all to understand that level 1 light monster, infinitely more aura than level 1 fairy / effect monster. We have to give a shit about the aura. All right? You have to care. Presentation matters. And then this is how we fix the game. Is this way you can just play fucking Spirit Wolf or whatever. Goatmank, there are 3 ways to get your deck reviewed on stream. The first way is a free roast stream. That's at the beginning of every month. That's passed. The second way is to buy a commission on Ko-Fi at the beginning of every month. That's also passed. The third way, if you have a way more money than you do patience, you can spend $500 to get your deck roasted immediately. Italian boy, I'm not planning on it. Let me see where Gen Con is. Fuck no. But saying wind monster loses aura, what is it going to do? Kill me with a light breeze? Motherfucker, have you heard of a tornado? What are we talking about, Umbuka? How much would it cost to make you play Master Duel? That, I've played Master Duel. It's very bad. So the price is how much to play again, for how long, and how good do I have to do? If it was like, oh, Mald does a ranked Yu-Gi-Oh grind, that is thousands of dollars easily, because that is going to be fucking terrible. But I downloaded, like, because there was a while where people were going, oh wow, this Commander Roast stuff, you can you should do this with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. That would be funny. I was like, oh, that would be funny. And so I went to download Master Duel so that I could start understanding how to play this game. I did the tutorial and they said, here's a starter deck. Play some games in rookie. I can't remember if the number started high or started low. So it was either like rookie 4 or 5 or rookie 1, but bottom of the ladder. I go into a bottom of the ladder game. I summon a dragon, whose only job is it will later allow me to special summon a slightly larger dragon. I pass to their turn, and they do some type of pendulum summon combo, put lethal on the board, pass back to me. I summon a slightly larger dragon and die. I thought, clearly, I've run into a grinder. That's my fault. That's my bad. I'll try again. And I played a few more games, and not every game was Pendulum Summon, but every game was fucking that. It was the worst goddamn thing I have. I think it is the worst introductory experience I have ever had in a competitive game. Yeah, Bone Lord, this was like a year and a half ago. Re-Ink, thank you for the 500-bit cheer. So we have random smasher pass and point redeem. Any chance we can get a point redeem for random fuck, marry, kill? Also, can I get a random fuck, marry, kill? You can get one, and I will think about making that a redeem. So Scryfall. This is not anything. Ooh. Ooh, okay. So I would be complicated. I see some Fyrides on here. Do I think I can do better? Or is this going to be I get a person and then I get two animals? I'm gonna lock in fuck. No, you don't, Darebrain. The point of this is you don't get to see all three. The point is, no. The point is that I random in the first hit. You have to pick which one as you go. So I'm gonna lock in fuck here. This is nothing. This is also kind of nothing. Killing that with fire with the previous card. The gate. Mary. We got there. We got there. Who doesn't love a giant woman? We made it. Well, you gotta build Renata now? That's not true. Okay. Now, without further ado. Oh, never mind. We have another personal question. Good Girl Zori is asking, Yu-Gi-Oh! Made me think. Do you think a TCG can function without rotation? What would your pipe dream ideally managed TCG look like? I think can versus should is a pretty interesting distinction for this question. I think it's possible for a TCG to manage without rotation. I think it is worse off for it because you turn into Yu-Gi-Oh! What would my ideally managed TCG look like? I don't know enough about TCGs. They've really never been my favorite type of game, and Magic only grabbed me because of Commander. Like, I learned how to play Magic because my friends taught me how to play Standard, and I went, oh, this is the worst game ever. You, sorry, you lose a ton. You have like almost no control over what's gonna happen, and it costs how much money to start playing? Fuck this game. I'm going back to Fortnite. But Commander and proxying brought me back in. And so I truly cannot comment on what an ideally managed TCG would look like. I think Magic is managing it much better than hordes of angry internet commenters would lead us all to believe. Yeah, I've done some pre-releases IRL, but I haven't done a lot of drafts. Nick, roasts are no longer via Patreon. So I appreciate you having it open, but those are commissioned via Ko-Fi now. Stute, I would love a DBZ secret lair. That would be sick as fuck. They used to be, Nick. They used to be, and then starting a few months ago, the competition forum was too hot, and so there were too many people who were like signing up to or paying for the Patreon to try to sign up for a limited number of slots, and too many people couldn't get it, and so I just shunted it off and said, if you want the deck roast, you buy that by itself, but now there's nobody who's paying for a thing that they can't get. Anyway, all right. If you haven't been to one of these streams before, my supporters send me a deck list, a primer, and a power rating, but we do not accept 1 through 10. We accept silly to spooky to scary. A power metric developed by my friend Danny Phantom EXE, which measures how ominous your deck's turns are to somebody who knows the game and is paying attention. Something, something. Your primer is important. First up this month, we have the Sinister Goon Vizier Dungeon Masters Consortium. This is a silly, spooky deck. Don't worry, it's a Nico flicker deck, but not the kind you think. We're flickering them, not the creatures. I just want to play guys that have dumb effects when they stack. Okay, I am 100% in. Same primer, or creatures that make the board a bit more chaotic, or 40 Hullbreaker Horrors. I am 99% in. We will revisit the jump scare fish a little bit later, but I am 99% in. Maybe I'll steal something good my opponents haven't copied it. I mostly just want to stack silly combat triggers. I am down with that. I can work with this dream. I think this is also, the title's great. So what we're working with here is we are funny because bad cards. We're funny because when we play our creature, they go, "Oh God, that guy's terrible," and then you go, "Well, I have 17 of them." That's decent. So let's see what we're working with. So on ETB, we make 2 shards for 2 mana. Exile target non-legendary creature you control. Shards you control become copies of it. Ugh. Okay, that's a little bit tough because it locks us out of like really expensively dumb guys. Because we have to not only get Nico, we have to flick Nico's bean a ton. And then we have to pay 2 mana after we cast the thing to transform our shards. A ramp? Sure. This is in fact ramp. Bye-bye. Alright. I think Dawn's Truce is real. Perhaps we can't. This is the type of interaction section that immediately worries me that we don't have any like medium tier answers. Like we have Oh God, oh fuck. I do like Time Wipe bouncing this guy to hand. We have Oh God, oh fuck in 2 slots. Not interaction. Sure. And then little one-offs, which might be enough, because we're presumably little beaning until we can shard all over the table. Oh, we need the haunting background music. I'll turn myself up a little bit. Yeah. Just summon the copy guys. Okay, if we have some creature interaction too, then this can work out fine. Draw stuff. Typical. Sure, yes. Winter Night Stories. I feel like there's no way this is the best option available to you, but perhaps it is. Entity Tracker's great here. Flump is fine. Curiosity Crafter is great. Enduring Curiosity can be great. Season of Weaving's just awesome. Okay. Hey, you brought it, calm down. I like this one. I like this one. Perfect. And then bribery. Perfect. Make even more of the interesting things. I think this is the perfect type of top end for this deck. Mass draw insurance. Wrong. Just die. Miscellaneous Nico synergy. Okay, so we can dump X for shards. Unstoppable plan. I don't think this is true. This one's definitely true and is lame as fuck. I will attempt to ignore it so that I can still love you. I don't know if I believe in... I don't know if I believe in this guy very much. He's certainly miscellaneous. The brutal copy guys. These are not the same levels of brutal. The fun copy guys. Oh, this one's good. Hi, baby. Thank you. All right, so what are our definition of fun copy guys? This doesn't do anything, right? Because this... So, all right, I'm gonna be a real big stickler for what are the silly copy guys are, because notably copying Esper Sentinel during our turn is completely meaningless. We can say, hee hee hoo hoo, I have 18 Esper Sentinels, and then it doesn't matter. And I think the best types of these jokes are ones where you go, oh, I have one of these guys, he doesn't matter. Oh, I have 18, right? Like 18 of anything is a problem. Copying on upkeep before someone storms up. Who's storming off into this? Somebody does that? But sure. Okay, so we have very fun. Yes, Jesus Christ. Never mind, then it's fun. Holy shit. That's my fault. Beating up children, very funny. I didn't realize you got to do that. Sure. Okay. See, this is... Alright, this is what I anticipated was going to happen. So really, what I think this deck would benefit most from is differentiating the tags between what we're actually going to use the copies for, because right now we have fun copy guys, and under fun copy guys I have already seen genuinely a thing that should do nothing, a thing that should only do anything if I am playing against the dumbest person ever, a thing that is funny to do in response to somebody swinging at me, a thing that is immediately lethal. All of these things are good to have in this deck, but I do think ordering it internally is going to be easier if we think about, like, what am I copying to say, okay, I win the game now? Because if you make 8, I can't even, God, I hate this fucking border treatment. Soltari champion. If I make 8 Soltari champions and I begin swinging them, right? Like, that motherfucker is dead. Oh, Lulu, I'm sorry. Let me click over. Lulu, thank you for the $5. I thought that I scheduled everything yesterday and I missed like 10 of the emails. So look out for an email later today and I will do a random smasher pass post roast. So what are our options for, hey, you're gonna die now? It's Hullbreaker Horror, which is really, hey, you should concede now. It's Soltari Champion, which is, hey, you're gonna die now. It's Cavalry Master, which is, hey, you're gonna die now, but I'm a 8-year-old with a wooden mallet. Because this just says everything has flanking 87,000 times over. So it's not necessarily gonna do a hilarious amount of damage, but it is gonna say like, you can't, don't block. The liege almost says, like, not as much as this guy, because this guy is shadow, but almost says, hey, you die now. Okay, this is a funny defensive trick. So we have like 2 funny defensive tricks. We have 2, hey, I beat you to deaths. We have 2, hey, you should scoop now, right? If you hit somebody with 8 of these, just concede. And then we have like generic value. Okay. And then this is yet again, we play into the world's greediest fucking Storm player. So I'm anticipating that we should have anywhere between like 4 and 10. I think anywhere in there should be a safe amount to expect. To be used on Nico only. Good, good. Good. Sure. Yo, we getting fucked up. Okay. Alright, yeah, we getting fucked up in here. Is Helm of the Host even that good? It's 9 mana. It's 9 mana, and I get 1 extra Nico a turn. So 9 mana for the same rate as Ephemerate? When does this start beating Ephemerate? Like 7 combats down the line? Okay, but this is all... That worries me. That worries me. What are we doing with this? Untapping just to... mix and match, maybe? Make them copies of one thing and make them copies of another? Sure, I'll let you cook with that. I think that we can probably find funnier effects than just this, but I like what this deck is trying to do. I think that it's probably... it's probably good for Silly Comma Spooky. I like what the dream is. I like the tools you have. I think a lot of your interjections seem to imply that you are allowed to work with 20 mana every game, but I'll let that ride. Yeah, how could this fail? We have 3 lands and we have ramp. That's the whole game. And we have bribery. So whatever, we play this, nothing happens. Who cares? We play a mana rock. Who cares? We play this guy. Boom. Not this guy. We play this NB. Boom. We get shards. We soul herd. We flick our NB. Boom. Shards. Bribery. I take their best thing. Right? Would I even do that here? I probably would not even do that here because I would want the mana to like turn all my shards into their best thing on the turn that I do this. And so I probably just play Flumph and hold it up as a trick. And then I, boom, shards. I have 6 whatevers. I have Displacer Kitten, but that's really just gravy on top of it right now. And I believe that... Oh, we didn't get a fucking land. Tremendous. Troubling, troubling indeed. I mean, at this point, we just pretend that nobody's going to respond to us playing Beholder's Charm Ray, and then I get your best thing, and then I go like, hey, next turn, you're going to die. Turning the shards into gold mirrors does not matter in this situation because the mana would be like the mana is to bribery and shard on the same turn, and I do not have untappers that work in the middle of my turn. I just have Unstoppable Plan to work at the end of my turn. And yeah, so I think that breaks out. But this is fine. It's very casual, but it is fine. Okay, and now we have the same shit, so we're gonna win. Oh god, and we have the stink monster. Alright, we get our lands. We get our Envy on turn 3, as it was written. We continue passing, and we tell everybody, hey, kill us with hammers or you're gonna die. We cloud shift. We make a token copy, get 2 shards. They come back into flicker, we get 2 shards. We ephemerate, token copy, 2 shards. They leave, come back, 2 shards. Beginning of next upkeep, we cast again, token copy, 2 shards. Leave, come back, 2 shards. And now if we play Hullbreaker Horror, everybody's fucking head explodes. It's weird to say about a flicker deck, but I feel like we don't have enough generic value. I think we're low on generic value, but I don't think we need very generic value when we have a large amount of lobster value. I do think there's a distinct possibility that we end up in situations like both games we have ended up really light on mana for what this deck purports that it's going to do. Like there's a lot of stuff in here that seems in service of, oh, I'm going to play on your turn, and then it's like I've got 3 lands and a dream and I'm kind of cantripping. We could, oh right, and then Suds, the other point I wanted to make is that we're so effective at flickering Nico that we can give up enchantments to be like, okay, I'm gonna scry 1 and I'm gonna draw to try to get my lands. I'm gonna scry 1 and I'm gonna draw to try to get my flicker. And I don't think it hoses our game plan, because every goldfish we've done so far, if the hand is keepable, it has multiple tools. So this one we would have to free mulligan. Now you go down to 6. Now I'm starting to see it. Now you go down to 5. You probably have to keep this, and we say, man, what in the world is interaction? I have a crustacean and a dream. Next turn. Play this tapped. Next turn. We probably do Winter Night Stories. 1, 2, 3. Fuck this guy. Useless. Genuinely. So now turn 4, we get our commander. This is the slowest we've gone so far, and it's still not that bad. We go Displacer Kitten, not going to help us with a flicker spell in hand. We just Cloud Shift, 2 extra shards. Curiosity Crafter for alleged value. And now we don't want to... Oh, well, fuck it. Now we Curiosity Crafter, we hit somebody, draw a bunch of fucking cards. Spark double, shard. And then now we put this on the table and we threaten like, hey, give up or I'm going to kill you. Oh, we get 16. I mean, who cares? We got a land and we have Hullbreaker Horror. That's the only thing that's happening. It doesn't fucking matter. We draw fucking 80 off of that. So I think this is not enough to have any degree of confidence that we're going to get the funny ones we actually want each game. Because some of these are, like, not even funny, right? Like, Curiosity Crafter is just, I'm going to pick up cards very effectively. Ha ha ha. Sun Titan is, I'm going to recur probably nothing. The ones that scratch that itch of like, oh my god, these are bad, but hey, now they're really good, are Liege, Champion, Cavalry Master, and Alchemist. Prototype and Hullbreaker Horror are literally just like a 5th grade like math test to see if your friends can figure out that they should concede. And so I would love if we could find more cute stuff. This is copium now. After seeing how that deck plays, this is pure unadulterated copium. I think this I guess Isochron Scepter, I'll let you cope with that. I think this one's also copium. I think this one's a little bit of copium. And so those would be the ones I would rather cut. So's this. And those would be the ones I would want to cut to find like what's even sillier. So let's look for combat damage. And we want to put them into those categories of this is a card that is bad by itself, and if I have 80, now it's awesome. We want them to be creatures. Now see, Nesting Dovehawk's just good. This is why it's difficult to try to create an objective definition for funny. Most of what we're looking for if we go funny is they're going to be funny in here because they're not good. Whereas Nesting Dovehawk is just awesome. So it's kind of like with this, we actually need to go to the goddamn end. Like we need to, if it's on the first page of EDH rec recommendations, no. They also cannot be legendary. So I think this is another, because instances of melee stack separately, right? Or can you only have melee once? Okay, it does stack the way we want. So I think this is another prospective soldier for the army of like, hey, now that I have 6, you're going to die. We don't want that. Oh god. Oh, this is almost great. I would love to speed run a fucking dungeon just because I hit you. This is cute theft. It doesn't do a whole lot, but this could go in the, hey man, you brought the card. This is legendary, which thank God. And there's Arcbound Slith is incredibly whatever. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. We're gonna go to On Attack next. I'm definitely looking out for that. Planar ally can speedrun a dungeon. I do like that. So it gets us, is there any dungeon where the end is good enough? Maybe Mad Mage. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we got to 7 shards, we could hit Mad Wizard's Lair off of 1 attack. I think Annihilator should be a no-go. I mean, the thing is, or here's the thing. Annihilator 1 should be a no-go. I think Annihilator 3, that is the same as Hullbreaker Horror, where it is, I have put 10 of these on the board. Scoop. Wire, don't play anymore. Stand down, final warning. Vandelver's not bad. Tomb of Annihilation sucks crazy shit. Oh my god, right. Hear me out, DMC. Hear me out. What if we robbed their entire deck, DMC? What if you took everything from them? What if you had bribery on a big old natural stick? This would this would put a lot of pressure on you to resolve quickly, because oh my god, if you got like 8 triggers on the same if you got 8 triggers on the same person, that's gonna break them harder than the CIA. But this card has no text. I think this is exactly what you want. It's definitely too expensive, but holy shit, if you get to execute this combat damage trigger like 6 times, come on, that's good. Similarly, there's like the other, so the Sphinxes are probably the most annoying we can be. You can return artifacts or enchantment. Where does the card go if they guess it right? They just shuffle it back in. Like you just tutor for a card, and if they guess correctly, which there's like almost no goddamn chance they do, but if they do guess correctly, it just goes back into their deck. Thinking about Blinding Angel. This one is tough because it begins to venture into a very good thing Azorius should be doing, which is control. And once you start going like, here's my silly Nico deck, I'm making you skip all of your combats until you draw removal. Because notably, this is different from Hullbreaker Horror because it's not bad enough. Hullbreaker Horror is so bad that if you make 8, and you show me 1 spell, I give up. You got it. Shake your hand. This is like, it doesn't hit hard enough that I would never concede just because you played this. I would stick it out. So I think this is a card I would play with a known play group. I wouldn't play this with randoms because this card is going to make everybody go like even though this should make everybody else's turns faster, it is going to make their turns twice as long because they are now going to spend 3 minutes talking about how much they dislike you on every turn. So I'd save this off to the side for when you play with people you know. This is fucked up, crazy style, but it's never gonna connect. Okay, so genuinely, I like this guy more than Kenku. In terms of miscellaneous. Oh, it's legendary. Holy shit, I'm so dumb. Holy shit. I said I wouldn't fall for it, and I fell for it. What if you go all in on Gates for Gateway Sneak? Nick, I was thinking about Sky Hunter. I think this is another really good instance of, who is it? Or it's a better instance of one of the things you have. I think this is better Thistledown Leech. And I think they serve the exact same purpose. I think this guy, I don't know, maybe this is like just good enough that you don't like it anymore, but we are playing Hullbreaker Horror, so like how precious can we be, right? But this is another really good instance of, okay, I play this, I have 5, I am spreading a billion damage now. This is good combat damage, but we don't have a good way to make them connect. This is a horrible, terrible, bad joke you shouldn't do. What about random typo lords? I think the issue with random typo lords is we would like this deck to, most of the way this deck is going to be interesting is via novelty. That's not the best way to create interest, but it is a very useful one. It's one that happens quite a lot. And so if we want the deck to be interesting because it is novel, we want to try to use things that people broadly are not using very often. Random typo lords are some of the most used cards ever. And so it takes the deck from being like, oh, I'm doing this good thing in a new way, therefore that is interesting. It becomes like, oh, I'm doing this old thing in a new way, but the new way is old. If there are any of them we just like, then yeah, we can do it. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Oh my god, there's the mill dragon. You're never gonna get enough shards for this to be real, but that is funny. Okay, I think we look for attacks now. Win attack. We want creature. I will actually clear the legendary out now, and we will go Azorius. Yeah, Fear of Sleep Paralysis I think is the same as Blinding Angel, where it's a little bit better, so people might scoop, but I don't think people are definitely going to scoop, and they really should. See, this is another type of thing. This is like Hullbreaker, where you go... Like, I think we either play this, or we play Skyhunter Strike Force. A thing I do worry about with this deck is we have maybe, like, four cards in the deck that will do anything to win the game. You do have a fair amount of card draw, which is healthy. But if we don't want to go this far, we at least want damage. And in my mind, Hullbreaker and Bane of Balaged, same card. In terms of this deck. For this deck, all that matters is, hey, I have 8, give up. It's a Nico deck right now, user. I don't think this makes enough. Oh, hold on. How about this? Here's the random typo lord. Here's the typo lord that has not played enough. Dogs are so shitty in this game. Wait, can we give dogs a chance? This is the creature type that is so awful that we deserve to get the random typo lord as a treat. Yeah, who let the dogs out? Nico let them out. Because this is like, This will pretty quickly become, we have 6/6s, we have 7/7s, we have 8/8s, and now none of them get hurt. All dogs go to heaven except ours, who never die. I like that. Okay, you know, if you wanted to do Blinding Angel, this is your version of Blinding Angel that I think will be acceptable at Gen Pop. Because Tap Down says... Tap Down is just like, okay, I'm doing control to make sure I get to hit you, but then you still get to take your turn. And I think that is an acceptable level. And because it has Myriad stapled to it, this is going to be just a fuckload of damage, right? This is going to be, if you send 5 at each person, it's 15 at each person, and it's 5 creatures tapped per board. So if you want a control piece, it's the short stack queen. Is Junkwinder any good? Junkwinder is quite good, but it depends if we want to stay silly or if we want to start moving into spooky. Because the metrics I'm trying to operate under right now are, we want cards that are bad. We want cards that are quite bad by themselves and become good because we are playing this commander. So like Sphinx Ambassador, quite a bad top end. Because I have 8 of them. Damn. Pack Leader, quite bad because I have 6 of them. Very good. Hammers of Morden, same thing. Like that's what we're trying to work with right now, despite the fact that there is a large kraken staring at me. Twaddle, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home. And Mr. Rogers, thank you for the 10 months at tier 1. Potentially one day, Rogers. I'd have to work on it again, though. In time, I haven't looked at any Eternity spoilers, and I'm not going to start now. What's up with Captain of the Watch? This is actually not too scary because we only get their ETB effect, like, one time. Like, we only get it off the Nico activation. So you could play this. I think there are more interesting things to play. I think this is just a situation of Sphinx Ambassador is infinitely more funny to play than Captain of the Watch. It only costs 1 more mana. We have Blade Griff, Jello. Blade Griff is one of the cards in here that's like, if we resolve this, hey man, just scoop. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, that's awful. That's... Yeah, we have enough that... What if you milled yourself to death? This, if you want to keep Labman, this is what you would keep Labman for, quite frankly. So that's the deal I'll make you. You kill Labman, or you find room for Labman's dragon. Gyro, thank you for the Twitch follow, my friend. Welcome to the doghouse. So this is crazy value flood. If you get enough, I mean, you're probably gonna mill more than 10, less than 30 every time, and you'll get a ton of flicker recasts. So this is probably a very, very explosive card for you. I would play this over Vindicator, quite frankly. I think this is much more fun than Vindicator. Could we... Okay, here. Okay, so DMC, what you actually might have to do, this might be a deck where I recommend the rotating roster, because there is so much stupid shit that we could put in where it's fucked up to have 8 of them that we're never going to be able to fit it all in one deck. Like, this is funny. If you make, I make 8 horses, 4 of them saddle the other 4, and then they attack and I tutor out all my other value engines. That is a very, very strong payoff. And so I think there are... So I'm going to leave it at, I love this. I think this is a great deck idea. I think you have done a reasonably good execution of it. You are coping super fucking hard about having enough card draw and having enough ramp, but I understand, given the level of kookery you are trying to fit into it. And I think you just get a rotating roster of funny stuff that I target with Nico, because we do not have room in the deck to put in everything that would be awesome, but there are so many things that will be awesome, but we have to trade them out of these like 12 to 15 limited slots. So I'm gonna say this rocks. This is good. This is a fun deck. I think this is power level appropriate, overwhelmingly fair. So for this ramp, what I would want more is like, if you add any more ramp, I would add bigger ramp. Like, I would start doing, if you wanted to make the mana better, I would, dog, hold on. On 36? On 36, we run in Temple of the False God? What's happening? What's going on? So we turn this into a bounce land. And if you wanted to do other ramp, I would start leaning into White's catch-up ramp rather than other artifacts to put in. Then what else is in the considering? Nah. I think you're okay without most of these. The fun copy guys. Nah. Draw stuff. Nah. No, I think the whole considering section can die. I think if you want more... If you want more card draw, we're not doing Nesting Dovehawk. For the 18th time, we are not playing the super generically good card in the niche Nico deck. Yeah, if we want more card draw, we probably look into like Memories Returning, or things like Diviner of Mist will just help a ton, or we have other things that say on combat damage, get me a card. But I think this is very, very good, and I think we just keep looking into what are silly, dumb, goofy guys. Like, this is a very good interaction, and so this could replace, and like nobody's fucking using this guy. Use a piss foil just to make people feel bad about losing to it. So we take some of the okayest people imaginable, and then they become really, really strong, and I think we cycle through. So DMC, that's going to be it for your deck. Thank you very much for the submission. I like this quite a lot. I will share the link in chat. Bone Lord, we'd rather have it be on a creature so that we can turn our shards into it. And we're going to... I'm going to run the manual ad break, and then next is going to be Sudsy Boy. Be right back. All right, we're back at it. Lulu, thank you for the Twitch follow. And then we had a couple questions. If you would build a deck on a non-legendary commander, who would it be and why? My pick is Fecund Greenshell, because I'm a dumbass green player. Well, Jace's cat, let's... God, what the fuck would I pick? There's not a non-legendary Niv Mizzet. Not fucking Adamantoise. My god. Oh, shit. Look at me in my fucking eyes, okay? You will not shame me. I know what I'm doing here. And I'm proud of it. Oh god, I burped. I'm not proud of that, but I'm proud of this. This is the funniest effect I've ever gotten to play in my entire goddamn life, alright? I saw God when I hit somebody with 2 of these. I cannot imagine what it would be like to hit them with 8. Oh, right, and then a smasher pass for Lulu. Let's see. Adopt. Bloomburrow Claws. Bloomburrow Claws. It is a robot bird. Adopt. Fade King. Sphinx Ambassador is in my VV deck. It is, I think, my favorite card in the VV deck. Hellcat, yes, you should have received an email yesterday at around 2 p.m. I can see that it was successfully sent, and so as long as you didn't make a mistake on your email on the form and you checked your spam, then yes. No re-ink, that would mandate I find it. Okay. First Fade King, personal question. How has the chair been working for you, Mauld? I think I need something better for gaming since swinging a Matic all day is hurting my back. Fade King, I regret to inform you this is probably the best $2,000 I have spent in my life. This chair is ridiculously expensive and has so far been worth every penny. It did not solve my back pain issues, but my back pain issues were numerous and very, very intense. They did make them noticeably better. Yeah, it's a Herman Miller Sudsball. Re-ink, thank you for the 500-bit cheer. Yeah, now I'll get the VV deck out. Now I'll go find the VV deck for you. You little rat. Read the Mead, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate those Jeffrey dollars. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. What is fucking up with my stomach? Ralphie No Pants, thank you for the Prime sub as well. Welcome to the dog home. How would you make a deck around Abdel Adrian, Horizon's Ward, an inspiring leader? You probably just do a bunch of things that flicker. Oh damn, Biggs Dog, thank you very much for the 5 gifted community subs. Welcome to Dog Heaven, my friend. I appreciate that very much. Jesus. I am not. I slept 6 hours and I am not handling it like I thought I did. DMC, thank you for the 100 bits. Just paying Maul the $1, but he'll give a shout out to whoever's name on Moxfield is Perry Hellion, who just liked my deck. Nice Murderbot reference, AMG. Asshole Maulhound Goon. DMC, thank you for the 100 bits. Sudsy boy, I know you're here, so we're going to get into it with your deck. I don't have any particular connection to Lightning or Final Fantasy 13. I just think her ability is neat, and the pink-haired lady can beat me up, which is pretty nice. This is a very straightforward Boros aggro deck. Goal is to play some good early creatures and beat people to death with them. Small extra combats and equipment packages for value, but I didn't make them the main focus of the deck because I feel like those cards are terrible when you don't already have the tools in place to capitalize on them. Personal metrics I've been using: 30 damage by turn 6, dead opponents by turn 8. Would like to know if that line of thinking is appropriate for aggro or bracket 2, bracket 3. Oh, for aggro at bracket 2, bracket 3. Okay. So we want to know if 30 damage turn 6, dead opponents turn 8 is appropriate for bracket 2, bracket 3. I think yes. More importantly, more important than any card, because you are in Boros aggro and you are likely killing people one at a time, you don't need cards. You need a small notebook of epithets. You can yell at people for why you're attacking them. You need to be able to go like, I don't know, man, you wore those shoes, you look like you like getting beat up, and just bang, bang, bang. And you got to be able to justify to these people because they are going to get butthurt every single time. So the amount of damage is fine. Yeah, your Jordans, they look fake. Let me crease them to check. You got to have a ton of just like, not actual justifications, because the problem is you're the threat not enough. Thank you, Alec man. You're the threat is never enough at bracket 2, bracket 3, because at bracket 2, bracket 3, motherfuckers just lie badly. At CEDH, people will try to tell you, hey, I'm not the threat, bro. I know I have Rhystic Study, and then the Rhystic Study's gone by the end of the sentence. In playgroups you already know at bracket 2, bracket 3, going, hey, you're the threat, I'm going to get you, that's fine. But bracket 2, bracket 3 has the highest incidence of people getting crazy butthurt when you call them the threat. And so you have to have a reason that doesn't actually matter. Like this is not how the world should be. This is how the world is. If you give them a reason that has actual merit to it, they're going to get into a 10-minute argument with you about why their deck archetype isn't actually that strong, or what they're doing isn't actually that good. But if you go like, I hate your commander's art, I hate your hair, if you're playing against me, I hate your lack of hair. These are reasons where you can just like throw them at people, keep the game moving, and if they want to be like, you're being irrational, you go, yes I am, bad shoes, and then bang, 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 you just keep going. I hate the pattern on your socks. Like that's how you politic bracket 2, bracket 3. So step 1 is create a book of grudges. Yes, that is, Suds, we'll look at, like, I'll see what the deck itself might need to operate better, but if we're going to run this type of strategy in bracket 2, bracket 3, book of grudges, book of things that are like halfway personal. You need things where people will interpret it as a personal attack, but not so deeply personal that the game stops because you're like, how did you know that about my dad? Right? Like you don't want to say wild out of pocket shit. And Alec, again, this is for people you have no rapport with. If it's people you have rapport with, just be like, hey, I know what you're about to do, go fuck yourself. This is about navigating, like, I've never played with you before, I don't know how emotionally mature you are, and in our mind palace, we are already in the situation of, I have attacked you, and you have a problem with it. Which I think will happen a fair amount of the time with a deck like this. if you attack somebody and they're an adult and they don't have a problem with it because they're like, oh yeah, I'm playing the green ramp deck, you have to get me in the first 5 turns, who cares? Yeah, you bottom load your sleeves. Death. This is good stuff, Suds. This is good stuff. You bottom load your sleeves. Die. So just come up with halfway irrational things to hurl at people, and that will make the deck run better. So lightning itself, first strike, trample, lifelink. A little bit of mana as a treat. Totally real. Aggro should still interact. I agree with this. I think we probably need 1 or 2 more options for, oh god, it's turn 6 and nobody's dead. I think that's probably the biggest issue we can get into, because after a couple turns, lightning can't really swing safely anymore. Like, she's 3 power, which will carry you for a little bit, but if we're not regularly equipping her, she does not have a lot of safe homes for a long time. Buster Sword and other lesser equipment. Fuck yeah. This is the truth. Okay. I think all of these are good and solid, but it is so few that, yeah, we're not very confident that we're going to equip her, which means she's probably not going to be that safe. Goon enhancement. Okay, so hear me out, and you're not gonna like what I have to say. I have hated on a lot of cards over my career. I have hated on some cards recently, one of which I'm about to recommend to you. Just think about it for a moment. Because my thought process is nothing we play on turn 1 or 2 is really going to lock up the game for us. Most of what's locking up the game for us is I have lightning, and then I get some like a pretty big meaty thing that can follow lightning up to deal a ton of damage. So one of these, like, yeah, these double strike stuff, Audric making sure nothing can block, an extra combat, Aurelia, these are all going to do it really, really well. I think you getting global haste, I doubt it changes the equation very much. I guess I was thinking about curving Hysteria into 2-drop, into Lightning, into 4-drop, and just doming people. I'll look at your 4-drops. I think that's 1v1 brain sickness. That sounds crazy. If you did that to me in a limited game, I'm calling the police right now. An ambulance is showing up on scene. If you do that to me in Commander, I feel like I probably go, oh yeah, I'll take 10. Sure, whatever. So if we have some 4-drops in here that do convert to just like, holy shit, I'm gonna die next turn. Yeah. So Fire Main Commander does 4. I think that's the biggest I've seen so far for 4-drop. The 2-4. 3-4. 7-4, but we're not going to have devotion on that quickly. Right, double with lightning is the big thing, but I'm saying even if our big doubling, right now it looks like the biggest double we could get is I go, what's my best 2-drop? Probably Anox Strike Leader. Anox Strike Leader, I make a goblin, that's 3. Next turn, I go lightning. I go to 6 with lightning. I send 4, which becomes 8, so I go to 14 total. And then I play my best 4-drop, which is Fire Main Commando. I do Lightning, which is 17. And then I have 5 power, and then I have 9 power, which goes to 18. So I almost killed him. Okay. So that path is quite good. And then the question is, how many? Well, right, Ralphie, but we don't care about tracking the damage for them because we're trying to think about how quickly can we kill Tom because he loads his sleeves from the bottom. And then if we get, so the other things that are comparable to that, the other paths that are comparable are, I got Sarah Ascendant. If you get Sarah Ascendant turn 1, yeah, that's crazy. If you get anything other than that, I don't think you get anywhere close to this. Maybe Hero of Bladehold, but I think the likelihood that your 4-drop is going to not the off-color fetches. God damn, dude. Oh my god. We're bringing the fucking military grade land fixing in for I want the girl who works at Jamba Juice to hit me really hard. I own a playset. I'm gonna use the playset. So anyway, I believe that the likelihood that your 4-drop is the answer is low enough that you would meaningfully benefit from having Fire Crystal to speed up your 5 and 6 drops, because I think notably pretty much every 5 and 6 drop is the answer. Like every 5 or 6 drop having haste and coming down turn 5, you are sending somebody to heaven. You are, I will send you to Jesus. And these are not made equal, right? Hero of Bladehold, wow, is Nelly Borka not good? But I realize you're doing this to suspect stuff, so I'm gonna let it go. But if we could get if we could attack with a token copy of Balefire Liege, if we could make a token copy of Anox Strike Leader, because I think on 6 mana, what's this curve? Yeah. This is very responsible. I know you pay your fucking taxes on time and do not know how to do a kickflip. That's okay. Since we are just out of shit, like we run out of dick at around thrust 6, I think having other ways where we can spend the top end of our curve to be like, okay, what's the best creature I do have access to? Let me get another one for this turn when we don't have other great finishing options. If you want to run other really good finishing options, that's fine. Okay, attack with Mary and another legendary creature for card draw. Yeah, tutor for the Buster Sword, card draw. This is not a lot, but holy fuck. Personal record is 46 damage. That's really goddamn funny. So let me just see how it curves out. Because here's the thing. This is a bunch of dog shit. I do trust that you may have assembled some type of nuclear device out of dog shit. Alright, so we have a wheel. We have Sarah Ascendant, so I think we keep it just for this. Holy fuck, never mind. Fuck these people. Fuck these people. Oh, they lost, bro. Never mind, the deck's great. I play Ragavan. I play Sarah Ascendant. Somebody's asshole prolapses. Like, I know whoever has the slowest game plan at this table is just making the Sour Patch Kids face. That's horrible. All right, so I Ragavan somebody, and I get a treasure. Actually, would I might use the Ragavan treasure to turn to lightning rather than get Sarah Ascendant out. And then Sarah Ascendant, we swing again. Ain't nobody fucking blocking. We're stacking up damage, we get a treasure. We do this, we Balefire Liege. So this is a 2-2, this is a 5-4, this is a 3-2. We swing, so 5, 6, this is also a 7, so 14. We've almost killed a player. That's fucking evil. That's absolutely evil. And we have fucking board wipe protection. Right, so this is what the Book of Epithets is for. It's difficult to argue. I think the most bullshit card you've played is actually Sarah Ascended. Right? That is the strongest individual card you have laid down outside of your commander. And so somebody, if we are doing the correct thing, which is to focus whoever we think is going to have the best late game, we have them on like single digit life right now. And this is where navigating the appearance of this deck is much more important than actually improving the function. I think the biggest problem you're going to have is as soon as a combo player enters the pod, your only option to deal with them is this. You understand that mechanically, we must take a hammer and we must surgically implant it in their sternum. In bracket 2, even when people are playing combo, if you go like, yeah, turn 5, I threaten you with death, they're going to accuse you of pub stomping every time. And so most of this is maybe you don't need a new deck list, you need an improv class. I think a slower, let's see what a slower run out looks like. Please draw bad now. Okay, here's a hand that plays Magic, but not nearly as well. Reptile, thank you for the tier 1 sub, my friend. Welcome to the dog home. We play this land. We play Arena of Glory. We lightning. Sure, we exert lightning. I'll play bad. We're playing bad. So we hit for 3. I'll keep a count of damage on like City's Blessing. We're up to 3 damage. Next turn. This doesn't untap. We play like Bastion Protector. Oh, she already has haste, so then we didn't exert this. I'm dumb. Thank you for checking me on that, Jello. Do we have a 4-drop instead? I mean, Nelly. I think we just play this normal style. So this is now a 5-4. We can keep swinging it. We're up to 8. Turn 5. So this is where we go, I think. Exert Arena. Float a white. Use 1 red. 1 red, 1 white to play this. And now we're going to get into rules situations where I don't know. If I float 2 red from Arena of Glory, can I split the mana and give both creatures haste? Then we do this. Fuck. We do this. I go in for 5. I Anok Strike Leader. 2 becomes 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 16. So we go up to 29. So that becomes whoever I've focused on is dead, or at least, maybe a better way to put it, whoever I have focused on feels out of this game. They feel like my life total is so low that even if the Boros aggro player does not kill me, kind of anybody is going to be able to whenever they want, and so it probably feels like impossible to politic. That is difficult. And so yeah, this deck fucks. You need a public speaking class because nobody's going to believe it's bracket 2. Nerafiel, thank you for the 300-bit cheer. Ran out of dick at thrust 6. Now notated as rude at 6 in my brain is the most accurate thing I've ever heard. I will forever keep it in my vocabulary. Thank you for this gift. You are welcome, Nerafiel. Thank you for that contribution to the dog pile. Hush, Lilith. Who cares if I counted wrong? Who cares if I counted wrong? We can split the mana. That's what matters. We can split the mana. This makes more mana. Okay, so we can't actually do that. So this is 4 less. Ugh, that's not very much. So it's 25. They're at 15 instead of 11. That matters. Oh, Psyop, you're preaching to the choir. I'm well aware that a deck doesn't have to have game changers to be higher than bracket 2. And that's currently what we're attempting to equivocate. Because the reason it's not powerful is because it's winning so quickly. The reason that it's going to be called pub stomping is because it's so good at killing a player. Notably different from winning the game. Nerylfiel, thank you for gifting 2 subs. Welcome to Dog Heaven, my friend. Let me look at the game changers you have on the sideboard. Because the real difficulty, I keep saying the real difficulty, a hurdle you would have moving up to bracket 3 is even if we give you Deflecting Swat, Jessica's Will, and the One Ring, like, this doesn't really stop somebody from Muldrotha Spore Frogging you, which is probably what's going to happen. We move up to bracket 3. So you're in the weird situation of at least being a low 3. I think anybody who's sitting down for a bracket 2 game is probably operating on the supposition that they have a couple turns to set up, and this deck does not give you any time to set up. And so even the no game changers version, I think the political issues of trying to maneuver this deck at bracket 2, straight up impossible. No matter how good your delivery of the your hair whack bit is, they're going to be like, oh, killing somebody turn 5 is too quickly. You have the Finn the Fangbearer problem. You have built a Boros aggro deck so effectively that it looks like an infect deck. And so you may find a very, very good life as a, like, bracket 3, as Psyop is saying, a bracket 3 landfall predator. Like, you're just there. You're there to eat all the people in bracket 3 who just want to hang out and set up forever, but they want to do it with, like, Seedborn Muse and shit. Bone, I don't think a goblin package helps. I think the package we have is good. I think the things that we would want to change are the things that we already have on the sideboard, which is we want better ways to draw cards, and we want a little bit of good interaction. Now, I do think phenomenal Boros aggro deck for bracket 2 with people you know. This is another situation of we have a vibes issue. We do not have a card issue. I think this is well built, even if I fucking hate Nelly Borka. Literally here for the pun. See? Bracket 1, actually. We are doing our fucking damnedest with Boros card advantage. But I think you've put together at least pretty reasonable paths for not this guy. Not fucking this guy. I think we've put together a couple reasonable paths for how we can deal a lethal amount of damage to whoever we deem the problem is relatively quickly. And we're not doing it unfairly. It's never going to feel fair to whoever you're shoving into the locker. I think Ketis kind of sucks, though. He's really cute. But I don't think Lightning is ever dealing enough damage herself. If we crazy high roll on, like, Buster Sword, and we make a copy of the Buster Sword somehow, then yeah, but this is chip damage, where it feels like we are better served speed running 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Or just, like, then Fire Crystal. Ketis was there when I had a lot more double strikers. That makes sense. Yeah, if you're all in on Blade Historians and Lightning's double striking, that's fucked up. Or, like, way more extra combats. I'm going to put you over here with love. This is not my jail, but this is 100% the jail that you are ending up in. I don't know. I'm trying to imagine you bringing this to like a convention and they call security. Kind of generic question. If I focused more on big turns with double strike extra combats, do you think the deck would slow down enough to feel fairer? Yes. Timmy, like bracket 2 Timmy players, that's unfair. Emotionally immature bracket 2 players generally respect big cartoonish windup for ideal 30 or more damage in one hit if they can see you winding up. What they tend to respect less is like, oh my god, you played good magic at me for 4 turns and now I'm gonna die. Somebody call the police. And so if you did, I'm gonna go a little slower, but when I go, Lightning is going to double strike with a second combat. That's probably a way to make it work better at bracket 2. And then the bracket 3 version should be sleek like this and should be focused on just running out I'm killing the combo player in 5 turns. Lightning strikes twice. That is a good pun you get to make. That was the OG name of the deck. I like alliteration. I'm a big fan of alliteration. Yeah, like everybody, I think a good way to get yourself in the mindset of a emotionally immature Magic player. I'm going to avoid using any of the like stereotypical Magic player names so that there's no like, oh my god, he's talking about green players, whatever. I'm talking about people who want to play low power and get their feelings hurt when anything bad happens to them in low power. They want to feel clever and in control. And they want the fights to feel more like an anime battle. A difficulty you can never escape is that they want to be the winner of that anime battle. So they're still going to be butthurt when you win, but they want to see you 10 miles away yelling as you charge up your special move, and then they want you to run towards each other on an open field, swinging your sword or your spirit bomb or whatever the fuck it is. And so if they can see you charging that up, and you can communicate, oh, I've dealt 10 damage to you this game. Next turn, it's about to get crazy, they might panic and they might be salty about it still, but it would be much less than like, this deck as it stands is the equivalent of you just like punching them in the throat as they begin to monologue, and then just woo. And it's fair magic, it's good magic, it's magic I like. But you're definitely going to get some insecure people implying this is overpowered. And so if you're fine dealing with that, you are doing the good Lord's work. Spread the word. If you don't want to deal with that, I would make it a little more like top heavy and shitty. Yeah, and Suds, I would really recommend that it just becomes 2 different decks rather than you tank this one. Oblivion, the solution should be that, but if we knew who what I'm saying is, this is a deck that is almost guaranteed to cause emotional volatility amongst Gen Pop. I think that even the most emotionally mature among us, when confronted with you're dead turn 5, when we sat down for a bracket 2 game, would be like, whoa, what the fuck? We may not all freak out, but it would probably be surprising. And so I think if you bring this deck to a bracket 2 game, you are never leaving that game without a conversation about whether your deck is bracket 2 or not. And I think how annoying that conversation is scales with how emotionally immature the pod is, but you never know that going in. And as a general rule, I like to bring safe decks when I am playing against people I don't know, mainly because the point of it is to be a social game. A lot of people will react when I make comments about like how to navigate social situations. Some people would be like, oh, well, I'm just going to worry about me and playing my deck, and I'm going to extract joy exclusively from seeing my deck do the thing. And like, that's cool. I will just play God of War if that is the experience I'm seeking. If I'm playing Commander, I am specifically seeking the social elements, and I'm specifically seeking the interplay of the multiplayer free-for-all. And so if me enjoying the game mandates that I emotionally remove myself from navigating the social issues, why am I even playing? How would it feel if I do the thing where I spread damage around so I'm not just doming one opponent constantly? That would absolutely mitigate the salt. That's another way to do it. That's 100% another way to do it. I think the difficulty there is you probably lose every game ever, and you got to be cool with that, because the over the top wind up swing is weaker. When you shoot, you do kill. If you do this type of lightning deck where you put up very, very healthy numbers and you spread the numbers around, you're going to end up with 3 people who are all moderately worried about you, and you're going to catch a stray from each of them, and you're not going to be able to close out on any of them. Versus doing the kind of top heavy strategy, you're much worse at closing, but it's slow enough to dodge some social issues, and the top end is big enough that you can still bring the hammer down. But I think both are good. It depends on if you want to extract value, not value. It depends if you will feel happier, if you will feel more enjoyment hitting a really clean curve out, or having a big lightning turn. Let's separate winning from it and go, am I going to feel better if I feel like, oh, like maybe I could have killed that guy, but even though I didn't, I hit some dope fucking sequencing. If that is what will give you the most joy, spread the damage and just lose a lot and then figure out how to politic around it. Hell yeah. Yeah, Schwabling saying it's going to be guess and check. It's going to be a lot of iteration on like, how much can I push people where they feel like, oh, you're putting their back against the wall such that they can't combo off for free, but you're not bullying them. That's a highly personal thing, because I'm not going to use the word objectively, but if we try to... Don't say it. Don't say it. If we... But the power of this deck is truly not problematic. It's dope. I like this. This is well built. I think some of the cards in it suck, which is perfect for bracket 2. Like, oh my god, wear and tear. You fucking beauty. But yeah, like a lot of this cannot be solved in the Mind Palace, because what we're trying to account for is the unique proclivities of a person we have never met before. We unfortunately cannot plan for that. But I think those are the different strategies you can use. Is I either rebuild the deck to be really top heavy, or I plan to spread damage around even if I don't think it's totally optimal. And you might find ways to convince yourself that it's optimal. Like, you may be, if you like making deals, I would highly, highly recommend going, I'm going to get you down to the teens, and then you have to make a deal with me to live. I think that is another pretty healthy way to manage this, that might give the other players some agency back. Yeah. So that's how I try to word. I would be like, who do I think has the most removal? I'm going to beat the fuck out of you and be like, if you want to live, I need this many turns before you hit any of my stuff. That's a very normal political angle to be like, I'm cool to not knock you out. I was knocking you out because I think you're going to be a problem for me. If you promise not to be a problem for this length of time, or a problem to me for this length of time, I'll move on. You can run a protection racket. Lightning deals! Yeah. Perfect. We have a new pun. That's how we do it. So I like this. We're still going to shun the efficient combat player, but I like this quite a lot. So Sudsball, thank you very much for the submission. Put the goddamn fire crystal in. I promise you. At least over mass hysteria. And then, God, we have to have a better 2-drop than Ketis. Good lord. We're going to hit the manual ad break, and then Dale, it's your time, and then Gorbash, you're next after Dale. Brandon, that is true. It's also, we have a lot of fetch lands in here. We have the One Ring and the sideboard, which I think is technically counted in the deck cost. But we also have like Aroa's God of Victory. Try 6 Araxis. Thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. And Tox Tank, thank you for the Prime sub for the 4th month in a row. Welcome back to the dog home. Okay, are we ad breaking? No, we're ad breaking now. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get myself some liquid. You all should too. Dale, you're going to get fucked on. They're on YouTube, Twitch chat, so don't worry when they don't talk back. All right. Desmond, thank you for the tier 1 Twitch sub. Welcome to the dog home, my friend. Okay. I don't think I've missed any messages now. We have missed a random smasher pass from Squid Squad, so we are going to handle that. Awkward. I just always forget to. So, like, TikTok, when I publish a video, I upload it, hit go, done. YouTube, I publish a video, I upload it, hit go, it goes into private, at which point I have to wait for YouTube to check to make sure that they can pay me ad revenue for it. And then like half an hour later, at which point my Swiss cheese brain has totally forgotten about it, then I'm allowed to make it live. And so it's typically during one of these pee breaks that I'll remember, oh shit, I filmed a video this morning. I should publish that. So the next roast is out on YouTube. All right. Next, we are going to Dale's deck, which is spooky. Oh, Lord. Dale, so we do allow that people request character voices during these deck roasts. And so I'm quite sorry to inform you all that Dale has requested the Foghorn Maldhorn voice, which is a very bad Benoit Blanc impression. So I'm gonna do my level best, and I am very sorry ahead of time. Let me get a little water. I said. I said. Okay, I think we're easing into it a little bit. Let's see what Dale's got for us. He's got a spooky deck. Show me spooky. Comedy comes in 3 bullets. Hey, you know that funny 1 point of damage I did? How about I do it 2 more times? And then maybe I'll do that funny shot 3 more times. And maybe another 3 for 3 threes. I can't tell if you're laughing over all the gunfire, but I am. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer to scream unnecessarily against the bit. Let's see what the primer. Deck spawned from 2 classic mistakes, trying to replicate the feeling of a 60-card deck in Commander and letting the trigger my commander a lot brainworm win. With Gearson, however, this strategy has a decent chance of actually working. The plan is simple. Play a bunch of relatively cheap spells, shoot the other players either with the spells themselves, the triggers for casting them, and let Gearson increase that damage to problematic levels. Some of these spells help us reload our hand, and there are enough counter spells and wide burn spells to deal with the 3 biggest problems in my pod: Yuriko, Galta and Maverin, and Finn. If all else fails and the board becomes more than we can deal with, we set the table on fire, then use our comparatively low average cost to rebuild quickly. Since Gearson has a mana value of 3, do not suggest any additional cards with that same value. God bless you. Okay, let's see what you're working with. Now, I will note, triggering your commander a ton, when triggering your commander will directly kill people, is reasonable. We do have to make sure that we have a clear game plan for how we're triggering the commander. I don't want this to be just a collection of everything that says 1 on it. We want to be, are we on Spellslinger? Can actually go relatively wide with 1/1 creatures that will either do combat damage or they will ping, or there's a ton of mechanisms. So I want to make sure we're using good ones. Yeah, source you control deals 1 damage aspirationally. I mean, if we're spooky, it's very possible we could get a grape shot turn off. 1 damage is nothing, they said. Hater shit, hater shit, hater shit. Now, Dale, you know You know that Voldarian Epicure could say 3 damage to each opponent and we still wouldn't care, right? You know that, right? In your heart? In your heart, you know turning 1 into 3 is not enough to justify the existence of this 1-mana 1/1? Okay. Maybe Flame Fusillade could do something one day. Cast Into the Fire has other... It can exile an artifact. Very real of you. Does it not? No! Three, no! Banhammers can't touch this. Alright, yes, Vivi is a very, very good 3-drop. Die faster. I'm downgrading you to Goofy, Dale. I'm down. You're going to Gahuk prison. I swear to God. So there are power levels where this is okay. There are power levels where this is fine, but this is... I'm going to spend 6 mana. I'm going to spend 6 mana to then reduce the number of shots I need to take down to 5. That can work, but it's very hopeful. It's very hopeful. We got a lot of counter spells, that makes sense. 38 lands is kind of a lot. Need more ammo. You dumb motherfucker. Alright, let's talk about some stuff. Let's talk about some stuff, Dale. What I love it when a deck is coherent, right? I love it when a deck is playing stuff that's all roughly the same power level as stuff that is at least going to help each other be at roughly the same power level. And when you show me, when I scroll down and I see, first of all, the Niv Mizzet Naval Gaze Infinite and Heuristic Study next to Voldaren Epicure and Grafted Exoskeleton, what I need to know is how the fuck am I supposed to help you, Dale? We have a crack pipe in one hand and Hubba Bubba in the other. I'm not saying it's not going to be a fun weekend for you. I'm just saying I can't track this vision. And that's why it's spooky. Okay, we're dropping the voice. Don't do that. Don't average. Do not average out the spookiness levels. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It does not function. If we go, okay, the deck is this silly shit, and then this incredibly good shit, therefore it's medium. Like if you bite into a Hot Pocket and half of it is hot enough to melt off your lips and the other half is ice cold, rock hard, that is not an overall well-cooked Hot Pocket. So let's examine what flavor of fucked up Hot Pocket we're working with. My fucking God, Dale. My fucking God. I can smell the boxes you kept your bulk in on this deck. How do you die faster with the Basilisk Collar? The Basilisk Collar is to turn all of these shitty cards into board wipes. Panic button. Why is this the panic button? We have good... You have good panic buttons in Is It? You don't have Psych Rift in here? We have Ristic Study, but we're too good for Psych Rift? We have to Perilous Vault? Screw Life Gain Fog and Tef Pro. That's real. I respect that. I don't respect that. Okay, let me frame it this way for you, Dale. It is not that any of these cards are non-functional. I see we have here your 20 favorite Scryfall entries for this card says 1 damage on it. It's not that any of them are non-functional. I'm already seeing multiple instances of, here is a card that says, I'm winning right now. Vivi almost always says that. Rhystic Study says that. The Niv Mizzet Infinite says that, even if it takes quite a lot of mana to get there. And then we have cards like Charmbreaker Devils right next to them who say, I'm winning in Q3 of next year. It's going to take me a long time. I'm here to hang out. I'm here to extract a little bit of value. Same goes for Auto Generator. Like, it's turn 4. This is on turn 4, after I've played my commander, nothing happens. On turn 5, I have an Arcane Signet. On turn 6, I have a Firemind Vessel. On turn 7 and beyond is when this starts to stack up a reasonable amount of mana. If you stick this turn 4. If you stick it any later than turn 4, we continue expanding that timeline, and it starts to be this weird push-pull of very, very slow and very, very fast I win right now. These are the experiences I like the least. If this deck is meant to be a cry for help to get somebody to sponsor you for Gamblers Anonymous, I'll be that guy for you. I'll go out on that limb for you. Don't do this even to a Galta and Mavra player. Mavrin. Grim Shadow, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome to the dog home. Alright, so let's look at how you're pinging. I'm already mad, brother. Brother, I'm already unhappy with you. So, let's break down this. A Gate Instigator. If I follow your tracks through building this deck, the motherfucker does say 1 damage to each opponent on him. It is based off when creatures enter. We don't have a lot of that, other than this guy. So if you had other ways to be confident that we were going to flood the board, I would feel pretty good. Impact Tremor is a Gate Instigator, especially because of the Offspring cost. These are really good ways to spread damage around if we are combining them with tools like Young Pyromancer. If you had like a Talrand as well, this is any instant or sorcery results in a 2/2. These are the type of things where once we have multiple of those effects, we become confident, okay, I'm probably going to play an effect that pings for a creature entering, and I'm probably going to make a bunch of creatures. Even like the Locust God would do it. But as it stands, this is, I'll pay for a Gate Instigator. I am probably resolving like 2 to 4 more creatures for the rest of that game. That's not no damage, but it's just not very much when we compare it to something that we could be focused on and be like, I'm going to do this 10 or more times a game. For you, that's probably things like Coruscation Mage or Vivi, right? Like casting non-creature spells, drawing cards with Niv Mizzet, which Niv Mizzet's going to work because he's a goddamn house. Mana Barbs. This is just by itself. It's going to work really well. Exalted Flame of Sesh. Like, I think you are currently straddling, am I trying to make creatures or am I trying to storm off? And the deck will feel more consistent if you pick one. Right now you have a couple of the tools to make this a very, very high power one. And we have a couple tools that are like, oh, I'm doing a low power fuck around. And so I think picking high power or low power is going to be the best thing we can do. There are other fun cards that I think you probably just haven't seen yet. We could do Queen Brawny, which this is the type of okay, so we prefer non-creatures. So this is the type of creature generator we can play that is going to double down on our non-creatures. We do have to be a little careful about where we are going to swing her, but every turn we get a new fucking gutter snipe pinger. This is also going to open you up to, there is a red land that does the same thing. Do we even have gutter snipe? Oh my god, you slept on the OG. Oh no, we need one. Right. We want bad gutter snipe. We can't have good gutter snipe because we don't double it here. Okay, so if we want... Show me wizard token. Show me Final Fantasy cards. Not very many, holy shit. Well, you can play this land. I would not recommend Mysidian Elder because, well, maybe. I mean, compared to like... Compared to Gibbering Fiend, I don't know why you're playing around with Delirium unless this was some kind of like in-joke on the building process, but I would not use Gibbering Fiend. And then we gotta talk about how committed you are to this repercussion into board clear game plan. It's pretty funny, it's also quite weak. The Razorkin Needlehead is fine. And then I think most of what you need after this is... Repercussion is for a Blasphemous Act. If you say so, brother. Most of what we need after this is we don't even need more pingers, but we need more card advantage. Like you have... I win. I pick up my whole deck. I maybe get Brainstorm back. And then I get access to 2 cards. So we have incredibly, incredibly bad. We have every card we want ever. This is Copium, but I'll let you keep it. And so the things you are desperately missing are the stock-ups of the world. I realize that this interferes with your commander's CMC, so we don't have to play this one specifically, but you should run either more curiosity effects to put onto your commander, or you should run things like Memories Returning. The thing you need to understand about Gearson is that if you're going to play Gearson at this level, he's a combo deck. You're not playing Gearson to chip people down over time. You're playing Gearson to set up just enough for a big storm turn in which you deal like 50 damage to everybody. And so the other stuff you're going to want for that are the usual suspects of Is It Storm, which is Stormkiln Artist. This is the guy that's going to say, okay, your turn is not ending. You have enough mana to keep going. And same goes for Archmage Emeritus. Archmage Emeritus, I personally think he is the guardian at the gate for, are you playing high power is it, or are you playing CEDH is it? Because once you get up to CEDH, this is actually like typically too big of an investment for a card that doesn't do anything by itself. But at high power is it, fuck yeah. Oh, what's up, Elk? Let me look at Ral. I mean, yeah, you could do this. This is pretty goofery. Oh, do you mean Ral Monsoon Mage? I don't even think this works for how the deck is currently built. I think doing this requires the deck to be built way more combo pilled than it currently is. So what I would recommend is the typical Storm tools of Stormkiln, Archmage, Burgi, and what you want to set up for is a turn where I can just keep drawing cards over and over, and genuinely, if we are past the point of like, fuck it, I'll play Rhystic Study, fuck it, you should play Underworld Breach. Because what you're going to want to have is cantrips that will let you ping into drawing off of Curiosity some good card advantage spells like Stock Up, and then you want to be able to reuse them. Fucking put the LED in. I think we stop short of LED. I think that's a meaningful difference between like, I have to set up multiple pieces to earn this mana and it's just fucking happening. Oh yeah, if your table gets weird about Breach, which they shouldn't because you're playing against a goddamn Yuriko player, you can do Past in Flames instead. You can even, so the silly cards I will let you keep are Grafted Exoskeleton, Grape Shot, all of these 1 damage to each creature your opponent controls spells, which you may not understand why I think these are silly. I think these are silly because at the power level you look like you're working towards, killing creatures is bullshit. You combo off and kill them. God, I don't think you can keep this. Holy shit, man. God, I do not think you can keep the 4 mana tap rock for 0. Perilous Vault should probably just become a different card. Like if this was Season of Weaving, oh my god, are you happier? Especially if I've offspringed anything. Oh, I like token copy something useful and then I bounce all the non-token things. And then out of the started blastings, so a gate you can keep only because of the offspring. I would kill Impact Tremors. I would also kill Krenko. I would kill Gimli Counter of Kills. I would get rid of Battle Strain as well, and I would get rid of Gibbering Fiend. And then it's just card advantage. Fucking, I don't think Deadeye Navigator's the one who draws. It's not. This is the Flicker one. Who the fuck am I thinking of? Tandem Lookout. Like this guy. So that your Curiosity stuff will draw you cards. And then you have Burgi too, so you can continue getting even more mana. Like this is all the stuff that you need to have a functional storm turn. And we're telling you to cut so much that maybe you can keep the generator anyway. You beautiful fucking idiot, Dale. Jesus God. What I would give to reclaim the childlike naivete necessary for me to put Sunscorched Desert into one of my decks. At least we have the color fixed one too. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Real as fuck. Oh yeah, you can do Ashling Flame Dancer as well. This is a way to get a mana battery. Having the rummage effect is also really good at making sure you can fuel these longer turns. But that's what we're building towards. If you don't like that, we can also power this deck down. But if you don't like that, I'm going to recommend getting rid of the Rhystic Study and the Niv Mizzet stuff. Because what we're building towards now is a game plan of I spend 4 turns playing Gearson and 2 other creatures. I play Gearson, I play a Pinger, and I play something that makes me mana or draws me cards because I've cast an instant or sorcery, and then I set this motherfucker off. Then every turn I take is going to be like 2 minutes long, and it's going to be me going as deep in my deck as I can. I think Irenicus's Vile Duplication is a little bit much, but what you could run... Oh, this is you control too. I am not sold we have to copy our commander. I am more convinced that we need to copy an engine piece or be able to copy somebody else's good engine piece than I am that, like, oh my god, what if we just triggered a second... What if a second commander shot the tower? So let me see how the deck currently runs out. So we go, oh, fuck you. Fuck you, man. We go Soul Ring. What's the goal? Play red spells and blue spells. I'm making you play this shit. We play this. We play this on turn 2. I tap this, float a mana. Boom, Gearson Starn's here. Boom, a setup piece is here. I will play a tap land, scry 1. Fuck yeah. I get 2 mana. I'll use it for Kessig Flame Breather. And now... Oh yeah, we had a Leyline in the opening hand, so nobody can Tef Pro us. Dope. And now we're out here on turn 4. We've had the best possible start you can get in Commander, which is I had Soul Ring. We have a shitload of mana, and we have nowhere to go with it. This is ego death for the Izzet player, because everybody's looking at you like, oh man, you have a few cards in hand, you have pingers, you have, what is this? This is like up to, it'll tap for 5 mana. It'll tap for 3, 5. You have 9 mana, damage can't be prevented, what's going on? And then you mana drain somebody, and you float even more mana, and then you exile somebody else's Soul Ring, and you wait to explode. So we need to get not necessarily a ton more engines, but we need way more things that are just like, what's not a lot of mana and allows me to get my hand on like one more fucking card to keep the train going. I just got to keep the train going. We could do Impulse as well. We could do like Ren's Resolve. What matters is that they're cheap. Bone Lord, I think we're invested in too many different goofy strategies. Like our silly IRA is already over leveraged. But anything that just says, hey, here's 1 to 3 mana. Yeah, light up the stage. Here's 1 to 3 mana. It's gonna get you cards. I'm partial to having most of these be in hand in case you miss ever. Because you don't want to be like, okay, I hope I'm going to get it this turn, but because I'm not CEDH, I'm not going to be super reliable, which means there's a good chance I brick, and then if I brick, oh fuck, they were all to exile, now they're gone forever. But more of these. You just need more things that let you keep going. And otherwise, holy fuck, did you find some good cards, brother? But we gotta fix this Hot Pocket syndrome. We are... Where do I put you? I'm putting you in Hot Pocket jail, Dale. You could Windfall as well. This is another, like, has the same CMC with your commander, but doesn't compete with your commander because you're never going to cast it on turn 3. So yeah, fuck this bitch up with card draw. Fuck this bitch up with ways to turn your spells into treasures, turn them into mana, turn them into more cards. And then it's just, how do I take 4 short turns and then 1 incredibly annoyingly long turn? But hopefully everybody is dead at the end. Is there any reason to go for Impulse Draw on an Izzet deck that doesn't care about cast from exile effects? Blue cantrips just give much better selection. Dr. Galactifor... I don't necessarily think that's true. Or I think much better, at least, is a stretch. As Suds is saying, we typically see more cards for an impulse draw than we do for a normal draw. There's something we've spoken of with redundancy. Like, we want to do the good blue ones and the good red ones. But, like, I'd typically rather cast... I'd rather Spectacle light up the stage than cast Opt in most situations if I'm playing Izzet. I think it's just a card per card basis. Because the first things we recommended... yeah. Because the first things we recommended were doing things like stock up. You were also, Dale, since it seems like you are a novice to the Izzet cause, is you're going to want things like Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time, because you're going to be casting a shitload of spells. You're going to get a lot of, or you're hopefully going to get a lot of stuff in your graveyard relatively quickly. So even if you don't cast Treasure Cruise for 1, we're going to hope that you can cast it for like 2 or 3 mana at the point where we draw it. And Dig Through Time can be the same card for you. Hopefully we get to cast this for 2 blue. Maybe we cast it for 4. But it's going to let you look at a ton and put a few into hand. Why not make this a modular list? Does the deck have a lot of discard? No, Bone. The deck has a lot of stuff that says 1. That's what this deck is. But some of these are quite funny, and I can at least appreciate your spirit. Galvanic Relay? Oh, no, I do not like this, because if we cast this during... If we run into this during our storm turn, this is us saying, like, okay, I'm definitely passing, and I'm definitely going to win on the next turn. Which I think is a dangerous place for an Izzet player to do at a table that we know has Galta and Mavrin. Because we can't cast anything we exile until our next turn, right? It says during your next, not until your next. Yeah, like it puts a massive target on our back, stops our storm turn, and costs 3 mana. That is like the holy trinity of things we don't want to do in Izzet. If you line it up with an extra turn, yes. But I would almost always, if I'm in the middle of a storm turn, I would almost rather this be something else. And we have to fit in the fucking shittiest orb I've ever seen. Alright, we're going to the manual ad break, and then it's time for Comrade Gorbash's deck. Tift, I think there's situations where it's really good. I think every situation where this is really good, a different card would just win us the game. In this deck. I think in other decks, like in other decks where the storm count intends to be a little bit lower and the exile synergy count intends to be a little bit higher, this becomes very, very good very, very quickly. In this deck, though, I think it says, like, pass, kill me, please. And then Biggs and try 6 Arrakis. We have 2 random smasher passes. Palisades, it does not count, well, so it doesn't count the storm copies, no. Smash. 100%. This is nothing. Water, get out of here. I mean, this art I gotta pass. This is like an MC Escher abstractionism. That's true. It would trigger Magecraft, but I don't think we have very much Magecraft. We have a lot of on cast do something. Currently we don't have a single fucking Magecraft card in the deck. So this will trigger Emeritus and Stormkiln. Maybe just triggering Stormkiln is enough to try and play with it, but I don't know. I just don't believe in it very much. Schwabbling, thank you for the random smasher pass. This is, would I smash a robot spy network? No. I'm gonna have to say no. Nightsea, thank you for the rant redeem. What is the best traditional Thai dish? Having a difference between what you want to make at home versus going to a restaurant is valid. Oh, I don't know that my palate's refined enough to speak heavily on this. I mean, I love pad thai because I'm a basic bitch, but like I've never gone into a Thai place and not loved what I had. It's really fucking hard for me. Like there's been some places where I'm like, oh, their pad thai was not as good as this other place's pad thai, but every time I have walked into a Thai restaurant that I know cooks good and I order something, if it's something I've not had before, every time I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I'm so happy right now. Blood soup? Okay, you're losing me. Yeah, like drunken noodles? Smash. Pad thai? Smash. Maybe like pad see I don't like as much just because I don't like the noodle texture. But like every curry I've ever had, fucking amazing. So I don't think I can answer that. Hey Mauld, I got the task of building a commander deck with a legendary uncommon card at the helm. Do you have any fun suggestions, stuff that you would enjoy playing? Nerafiel, I would recommend you look into PEDH. That is not me making a PP joke. That is a format built around the very thing you were asking about. I do not think I've built a popper deck in a long, long time. Arabella's a pretty fun commander. You could probably get something... Ooh, you know what? It would be Cormella. I have seen 3-3 Elk has a Cormella list that they showed me that was just Cormella doing like fat Grixis dog shit instants and sorceries, and it was very, very fun to playtest. So I think Cormella Glamour Thief is probably the one I would have the most personal fun with, but you are spoiled for choice. Thank you, Dale. Have a good dinner. And thank you for submitting. Gorbash. Let's get to it. Comrades, I come to you with the most important advancement in the history of Gruul. Rock. Is this a fucking Tago list? With Rock, not only can we... Oh, it's Gruul. Not only can we beat our foes to death twice as fast as a bare fist, we can even strike them when they are out of arm's reach. And by leveraging the heretofore unknown power of numbers larger than 10, we can shower our enemies in so many rocks that they are all beaten to death at once. Truly, my friends, the future is now. Glory to the cat lady. I shouldn't have looked. I had it. I had the read. I shouldn't have looked at the fucking cat girl. Alright. We're playing Roxanne. Narafiel, thank you for the 200 bits. That's awesome. I wish you luck on that journey. Build Cormella. Alright, so we're ramping into dog shit. Oh, wow. The greatest advancement in the history of Gruul, and it's about to be the fucking all-timers from every red-green deck ever. Alright, we have Amulet of Vigor. How inspired. How inspired of you. Oh, wow. Truly, you are an innovator. You fucking... Okay, I like this one. I'm back in. I'm back in. You lost me for a moment, but I'm back in. This is crazy cope. This is crazy cope. What if we just ran a fucking protection spell? You have no tags. That's fine. So let me try to decipher. You're definitely a greedy bitch, so it makes sense you're playing Soul Rings. Arcane Signet is fine. Dowsing Device. 4 more artifacts. And we can make a creature big if we control a Fuck you, man. Fuck you. This is why I can't take y'all seriously. This is why. This right here. They're going like, oh, Mauled. But isn't it so cool? I'm going to ramp to a 5-mana commander. And then, because I make so many meteorites, I'm going to put a dowsing. I'm going to put a little fucking stick on this guy. And then he's going to get +5/+5. Instead of just spending their 8 mana to kill me like an adult. God. Golly. Okay. So this is cute. I will file this away under cute. We will transform it eventually. Fuck you, man. What's this guy doing in here? Is he lost? Are you trying to make him big? Is that the point of this deck? Is actually I'm going to kill you with Questing Druid? Alright, we have attack doubles. We have clone our commander. Oh, okay. It's there to give her haste. That's... Thank you, Wicked Good. I want to read the whole card before I hate next time. Thank you. Alright, I'm back on this now. I still have no fucking idea what this man is in here for. I swear to God, if internally you tag this card draw, I'm going to get you. I think Ruby is... And that is what the Druid is in. God damn it. Alright. You probably internally filed this guy away under interaction. What's green slime do? ETB counter an ability from an artifact or enchantment source. Who hurt you, man? What the fuck? Did somebody start playing Grasp of Fate against you, brother? Then we have Kibo. Artifact an opponent controls. This seems crazy. I think you just got artifact pilled at this point. No, just Rhystic Study. So real. Keep it. Okay, good. We get haste. Decent. We get a copy. We get a copy. Fuck it. Yeah, why not dub? Why play a single good card that costs more than 5 mana? What if we just played every setup engine in the world for our commander? Alright, more triggers, more triggers. I am not a huge believer in Bitter Reunion, mainly because if it costs the mana to... If we have the mana to sack Bitter Reunion to give Roxanne haste, it feels like we probably delayed Roxanne anyway. And so there are things we could play on our curve out that just won't require us to delay Roxanne, and I would rather play those. This is greedy as fuck, but sure. I'm going through this whole list waiting for a good card that's never gonna come. Oh yeah, let me look at... There was a alleged shitty Photoshop. God damn it. Great. Fucking great. Okay. So back in Galvanic Blast, this is nigh indistinguishable from what our commander is doing. I disagree so heavily with this one. Why are we on all of our interaction has to be what our commander is, except for Beast Within. If we were at least committed to the bit, I could be like, fuck yeah, we're the Roxanne gang. We only deal 2 damage to people. But we're not that. We have a bunch of other interaction too, and then half of it is just this weird fucking sideshow. Ghost Fire Slice is CEDH playable. Tift, I'm gonna need you to take a lap outside. 32 lands, fucking perfect. Untagged sorceries for the common good. That's fucked up. Then we have Glimpse the Impossible. We have more ramp. That's real. I think we likely need at least 1 or 2 more sources of 3 to 4 mana. I feel like this deck is the equivalent of the world's best League of Legends player before you could get paid for League of Legends. Like, what I mean by that is you've built a machine that should be capable of shitting out so much mana that everybody should be terrified of you. You get Roxanne down, you do multiple combats, you'd like double the amount of tokens you're making. Oh my god. Oh my god. Gorge, which I believe is your given name, Gorbash. Gorge is gonna have 18 mana on their next turn. What do you think they're gonna do? And you're gonna play like Panharmonicon off the top of your deck instead of anything threatening. We have Goldvein Hydra and this guy. And even him, like, he's becoming a fucking like 9/5. So what would scratch my butt really well is a couple cards that make you happy, that are more along the lines of Crackle with Power. This is not a Craterhoof deck, Velvet, although I am disgusted by the energy. Oh sure, we can't activate the dragon multiple times, so we just pump a million mana into it. But think about, like, speaking of activating the dragon multiple times, can we dream big? Can we dream bigger than I play with 10 rocks all day? This is what I'm fucking talking about, you guys. This is my guy right here. This is my fucking guy. Count to 20 in Gruul Crazy Talk. Your primer is the one that references numbers larger than 10. So, let's talk about who's just straight up bad. Questing Druid, just straight up bad. Bone Crusher Giant, almost certainly just straight up bad, although maybe you have been hurt by a Tef Pro more times than I've had hot meals. Kibo, just straight up bad. Inara is diabolical work, but I will forgive you if you are in a high removal table. Galactor Druid is not legacy playable for the reasons Gorbash has put it in this deck. Please, let us not pretend that any of the reasons Questing Druid is legacy relevant are in the room with us in this fucking Gruul Meteorite deck. I think Echoing Assault is a lot of mana just to get one extra copy of our commander a turn. I would wonder if there's not a better spell that we could use here, especially because we're going to be creating so much mana. Like, we have left ourselves with almost no expensive card advantage or card selection, and instead we have Second Harvest. We have a lot of, like, real lowdown removal, and a lot of that real lowdown removal seems to be like, I've been hurt too many times by an Esper Sentinel. We at least have some impulse draw. Let me just see how this dream works. It's 38 lands, Crimson. It's just only like 32 that are lands on the front. I don't think we need Hela, but I do think we need more than current. So 3 visits goes away. That will just get a basic forest because I'm color fixed because I don't care. Okay. We have an indestructible commander on our turn. We pass to somebody else's turn. Oh my god, our commander's dead. Who did that? Do not really like this. Next turn. Fuck it, run it back. It's indestructible on my turn. What are you gonna do about it, you shit fucks? This time we probably get away with it. I don't know who's shooting the Kakarol back to back. Danon, thank you for the Prime sub for the 2nd month in a row, my friend. Welcome back to the dog home. And then we play, I mean, Gold Vein is probably what we'd play here. Nah, fuck it. Inspired Tinkering. We get 4 mana, 5 mana, 1, 2, 3. And I get 3 treasures. I think the best thing we can do is just dump a ton into Gold Veins. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 11. How long do I get these? End of my next turn? Okay. Then what we can make work is if Gold Vein survives, we can Disciple of Freyalise the Gold Vein. And we would have attacked, I guess. Maybe we had a safe attack there. Oh yeah, Danon, how'd that go? So nobody's mean to our big Hydra. We spend 6 mana killing it. We draw 11 cards. I think we're still mostly fucked. Do we... No, we're not fucked. We play Arena of Glory from hand to then Valakut the rest of this fucking hand away. So we're gonna draw 14 here. My fucking god. What can we get? We can get Karlach, which will give us double combats. Which is, we do have safe swings because we have this indestructible on our turn. So now card's great, actually. We have Hellkite Igniter. We only have 3 artifacts, though. Do we likely go Karlach? Karlach so that we can attack twice. We don't care if the damage goes through. We get 5 meteorites. We discard the hand size randomly. Who fucking cares? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 19 mana. So we can do 9 into X. So we make 9 copies of the meteorite. So we have 18 more mana. After we do that, we gain a bunch of life. And now Hellkite Igniter kills people. I'm kind of with this. MLP, I think the meteor damage is just softening people up. Oh, and we have Goldbane treasures that I completely forgot about. So at this point, Hellkite Igniter does become the finisher we need. Okay, that makes me feel much more confident about this deck needing card draw, because this situation was held together entirely by drawing 32 cards, which we did via the Disciple of Freyalise onto Goldbane Hydra, and then wheeling that hand. So even if you're just investing, I like the dream. I like what the top end of this deck is. I think getting... You okay, baby? You okay?
I think yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we could have more things like Hellkite. I don't think it's necessary to add tutors, but either more things like Hellkite or more X spells or more just like Aggravated Assault. Aggravated Assault might be good here. I like Inferno personally. Oh yeah, where the fuck is our guy? Yeah, where the fuck is our guy Apex Devastator? looking at that playtest, this version of the deck it's looking a lot like how people play Skyrim, where you get to the end of the game and you have a million wheels of cheese in your inventory that you've never eaten. I believe in this curve, at least a bit. I believe in your ability to resolve Roxanne. I even believe in your ability to resolve Roxanne against prejudice. What I don't believe in is that you regularly get to do things that matter at the end of the game. And I think if we added a few of those in, or just added a few more wheel effects to get to the options that we do have, you would feel better off. And I think the things you can kill to find those things are Bitter Reunion, Echoing Assault, one of these two. Questing Druid. Probably Cursed Mirror, unless there's some type of like, unless you are, if you are fully committed to, I am going to copy my commander, kill my commander, keep the mirror, swing the mirror, go off. Shadow, I do not think we need Reckless Fireweaver. If we do Reckless Fireweaver, that is going to lead us further astray. I think we're very close. I think we just don't have enough, like, like, what am I, what do I want evoked here? When I, Gorbash, tell me if this resonates for you. What I want here is, I want to feel more like Handsome Jack, or that you're Handsome Jack. You have $1 million fuck off dollars because the Gruul players have discovered industrialization. I want to see the Diamond Pony. What I'm seeing right now is a factory tour, and we've got one Diamond Pony, and we have some enriched uranium. And I don't think we need like 20 Diamond Ponies, but I think if you had a few more, kind of similar to what we suggested for DMC's deck, is like, what can we look for that is a card that truly sparks joy for you and will liven up the table to see it resolved? Apex Devastator is like criminally overplayed, so it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It doesn't have to be a Tally Primal Conqueror. But Hellkite Igniter, hot. I personally think Inferno of the Star Mounts, also hot. These type of cards that will end up working tremendously, tremendously well for your strategy that don't get used that often. So I don't actually think Eldrazi, because if we do Eldrazi, it's just, I don't know, every ramp deck is doing Eldrazi. I like playing with commander cards that aren't quite as good. I like Butt Stallions. Ancient Glizzy Dragon. Let's look at big Gruul shitheads, which there's going to be a ton. We're going to go mana value greater than or equal to 6 is probably where stuff is going to start. Oh, you could do Displaced Dinosaurs. That... All right. What if the meteor was bringing the dinos, Gorbash? Come on. I know you're smiling. I tried Displaced, and the problem is it's only the ones after it comes in. Are you not able to make a lot? Because it kind of seemed like this is... Because 7 is the turn after Roxanne. You play Roxanne, you play this, and then every mana token after this is a 7/7. It's not broken. It's certainly not. It's definitely on the silly side. It's not going to be ridiculous heat. Okay, other creatures have trample. Who cares? I don't think we need bronze or copper. Oh, let's go ahead and search by EDH rec. I don't think we need any of these guys. Hornet Queen doing anything for us? I don't think so. I like this guy just because he's a little cutie. He's just a big... This is not a good card at all, but in my VV deck, I enjoy him very much because it's just like, oh, here's a big guy, and I get a card. Lumra is decidedly okay. Threefold Thunderhulk is kind of interesting. It's a really big mana dumping shithead that could conceivably turn all your meteor... Like, if you needed to for some reason, you could feed all your meteorites into the forge and turn it into a massive fucking threefold Thunderhulk. Not convinced that that's amazing, but I am convinced that it's like a little bit of neuron activation. Oh, here you go. Here's how you draw cards. Gorbash, I think going with more Hydras is the safe option. Anything that costs a lot of mana is what will work here. Right now I'm trying to look for things that will please you specifically. Draw a card for each green creature we control as whatever. But like you could play Broodmaster, big creature, massive mana dump. Like by itself, this is a totally acceptable creature to prevent you from getting killed. If you have gone crazy stupid with meteorites, boom, now you have a board that's basically lethal. So we're looking for what's going to scratch the brain itch. I really don't believe in Brotherhood Vertibird. I think a lot of the things that are lower CMC, than Roxanne should be pretty specifically focused on ramping to Roxanne or playing Roxanne with haste, because we did not have very many artifacts until we got that crazy X-Spell payoff. We only had 5. And then we had that like, oh my god, the Hydra, the one specific Hydra in our deck that turns into treasures died, and then we had a shitload of mana from that. Generator Servant is a good call out. This is a good, clean, responsible haste enabler. I doubt we need Polyraptor. We could Bahamut and have it be totally worthless. That would be dope. We have Enduring Courage already. Go-Go isn't... I like the cloning aspect of Go-Go, but we do have to consider that he is just going to be a 4-2 and is probably going to explode. Even though it's a great way to get a second copy of our commander. I think he fucking dies the moment we swing him. Perhaps just for a haste enabler, yeah, for another 4 mana haste enabler. And then so if we do play this before our commander, we get 6 damage total. I think that is enough drone striking to be confident in it. Then yeah, I would suggest Go-Go as well. Kill Questing Druid yesterday, thank you. We do not have artifact spells. Does Junk Jet bring joy? The Buster Sword is just a sharp, shiny rock. I like Junk Jet. It depends if Gorbash is willing to part with any of their trinkets. This is a fucking hilarious way to kill somebody. I load the rock cannon. I shoot you with the pebble minigun. You can come up with better names than these, but that's the vibe. Okay, so we Junk Jet to rock you like a hurricane. All right. Alana and Elena are haste, and they also suck, and I hate them, so we're not going to recommend them. This just makes a lot of fucking guys. Nah, this is not cool enough. We are not collecting evidence. Do not have artifacts with mana value. Free folk attack. This is low tier hater dog shit. I don't think we want to make meteorites into equipment. I don't think we have any need to do that. I think what we're looking for right now is just mana dumps that make us happy. Because what we already know we need is card draw. We know that we need either more wheels or just self wheels or even just like abundance or beast whisperer. We need something that is going to get us a little bit of extra card draw. And then after that, I think rather than all of these things that are like, what if I doubled it 1 million times over? is what if we had a butt stallion to spend all of our mana on? That is at least a mana dump, although I don't necessarily want this to be dragon.deck. Bellow will not turn the meteors into creatures because they don't have a mana value, right? Doesn't Bellow only do... Yeah, mana value 4 or greater. So this guy just doesn't do anything. Damn, these cards suck, dude. That's horrible. We have Enduring Courage already. Why in God's name is strong, Saucy? This is totally unrelated to anything happening. Damage doubler is not funny enough. Maybe Moonveil in a world where we one day grow wide, because this is at least fire breathing onto the entire board, but I think we are hitting the bottom of the barrel here. I refuse to say that I like the Gruul head empty ramp deck Gorbash, but I think you have achieved your dream, even if your dream is completely fucking terrible. I urge you to spend your mana on a butt stallion. Do not listen to people telling you to make the ping damage better. I think what makes this better is having good things to spend your money on. Captivating Crew is a mana sink. I do love stealing and taking things. So I do like mana dump into give me your board, now we're gonna kill you with your board, pass the turn, rinse, repeat. So probably 2 to 3 additional ways to spend your money, and then 2 to 3 additional ways to either wheel everybody, or at least wheel yourself, or at least get access to a lot more cards than you currently have, and you can cut doublers or things like Kibo that are just like... I genuinely don't think you have to double down on this because mana is already so powerful. Mana is already so powerful and good, and you Gruul players have already had it so good for so long. We don't have to have it happen twice. One meteorite can hit the table and fuck it up for everybody. I'm gonna put you just dead in the middle. I think we're a little too value crazed right now. We're 3 hours deep into the Costco shopping trip, and I'm gonna pull you out, brother. Oh, you could Genesis Wave too. Like, damn, if we just out of ideas, fuck it. Here's the deck. Show and tell, baby. Green show and tell. What's up with it? So you can do this too. But yeah, ways to spend 8 or more mana that feel really good are going to be a necessity. Otherwise, you just get lost in this cycle of like, all right, well, I'm doing more stuff with Roxan. Can you win? Fuck no. How much longer is it going to take? I have no fucking idea. You think I put card draw on this deck, you dumb son of a bitch? I cast Questing Druid. Which obviously it is not that bad, but I think it will be improved being a little bit more on the rails. DMC, thank you for the 100-bit cheer. What the fuck is up with Warp World? Do not do this. Do not. You will win the game if you resolve this, and it will be the last game of Magic you ever play. If I hear anything about you playing this, banned from the tri-state area. Fuck no. But we're gonna call it here for this deck, Gorbash. I do like it. I hope that it runs a little bit better in the future. You greedy, greedy bitch. Thank you very much for the submission. That is going to be it for today. We are going to raid out, and then we will be back tomorrow with, I believe it's an arena day. Smokey, Warp World splits enchantments because red has historically... Wait. Oh yeah, I thought it was they just didn't have enchantments in. I don't know, dog. This is dumb as fuck. Who cares? We're going to raid out for the day. The raid message is going to be the Indestructible Justin rant. We are going to raid into the end of Decked Out's subathon. Please continue to give them your support. Hit NerdGirl with the Indestructible Justin raid message. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for coming today. I hope you've had a good weekend. And please remember to stay toxic. YouTube and TikTok, that's just going to be it for today. We will be back tomorrow.